Hi, and welcome to today's webinar, where I've got my good friend John Teliengis on the call. Now, I've known John for about 16 years now, and like many of you, they have, they're trustees in their own SMS fund. For the past 8 years, they've established their own fund. After the GFC, they were also frustrated at their financial loss and lack of financial knowledge, wanting to properly take control of their retirement savings. And I also recall John telling me of his concerns with relying on others for key advice at that time. Hence the quest for research, specifically for other SMS trustees, to increase financial literacy. And I know that you're going to enjoy this webinar, particularly about taking back control of your SMSF. And without further ado, I hand you over to John.
Carl, thanks very much for that introduction. The 3 vital steps to take control of your self-managed superannuation fund. My promise to you here today is to show you how to instantly take control of your SMSF without having to leave the comfort of your own home or office, ever. Just a little bit of housekeeping, if I could please. If you could kindly turn off any mobile phones or Facebook or social media. If you're an SMSF trustee or member and you're serious about getting better results with your self-managed superannuation fund, the next 30 to 40 minutes or so will change the way you see your SMSF. A little about myself. My wife and I have co-founded Australian SMSF Group, specifically for SMSF trustees and members. Very much focused on the advocacy and research of SMSF funds. We facilitate nationally recognised SMSF training and trustee education and promote the benefits of increasing financial literacy in Australia. Imagine just for a moment what life would be like in the situation where you have the confidence to make the key decisions affecting your retirement savings and gain insight to the many benefits of having an SMSF and how you can choose to manage your fund as you see fit. You never have to worry about taking little to no action and just hoping for the best, just hoping for things to come good, as you'll better understand the role your role as a trustee and your responsibilities and many options. The ability to better communicate and work with your professional advisor, knowing what you want to say and how to properly communicate that. What would life be like when you know how to implement the steps to take control? And how about when you really know how to confidently make key decisions, such as investing, compliance, and administration in order to be a more effective and informed trustee? What sort of difference would that make to you and your family? I recall Stephen Chibo, Member of Parliament, Parliamentary Secretary to the Treasurer, making comments to ASIC's National Financial Literacy Strategy for the 2014 to 17 period, where he recently stated, "Being able to confidently navigate the financial landscape and make good decisions about money are core life skills every Australian needs. Improved financial literacy can benefit anyone, regardless of age or income. Being able to manage financial risks and avoid financial pitfalls can have a positive impact on financial well-being." Those few comments made, to me, really sum up the core aims and objectives that the government-run National Financial Literacy Board aim to achieve. Very much a philosophy, and I really know that sums it up very effectively. Results are not typical. I'll walk you through the platform we're using to get great results. Please understand that my results, the results shown here, are not typical because the average person who attends any training gets 0 results. However, I'm happy to share with you exactly what's working for me. This is not, importantly, some sort of get-rich-quick scheme for people or those looking for an easy option. What we'll cover today, the secret number one, knowledge is power. Learn the keys to practically manage your SMSF more confidently. And thirdly, increase your financial literacy. Knowledge is power. So really what does this mean and what relevance does it have? Well, firstly, according to the Oxford Dictionary, it defines knowledge as facts or information acquired through experience or education, theoretical or practical understanding. In other words, experience or education equals knowledge. It therefore makes sense that the more knowledge and understanding you have in a particular area, the more likely you are to succeed. What do I mean by this? Well, without knowledge, how can you reasonably be expected to succeed as a trustee? It may seem logical, yet I've found that many trustees I've met and spoken with find themselves lacking in knowledge. The result is often less control and involvement in key decisions and additional expenses. Secondly, learn the keys to practically manage your SMSF more confidently. The Oxford Dictionary defines confidence as a feeling of self-assurance arising from an appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. The words I pick up there straight away are one's own abilities. How does this relate to my SMSF? Again, I've found that many trustees do quite the very opposite of what we've just read out. That is, not to rely or trust their own abilities. Ironically, trustees have seen the benefits of an SMSF, established an SMSF, yet don't trust their ability to continue from that. Most would agree that to make any important decision concerning your retirement fund, when not confident, is unwise. Specifically, the confidence to make a decision and take action is critical in having control. Increased confidence results in increased freedom. The freedom to decide when changes might need to be made based on your investment aims and objectives. Thirdly, increase your financial literacy. As touched on just earlier, according to the Australian Financial Literacy Board, financial literacy is broadly defined as the ability to make informed judgments and to take effective decisions regarding the use and management of money. It's quite straightforward. Again, how does that relate to my self-managed super fund? Not only can improving financial literacy benefit anyone, regardless of age, income, or background, from a trustee perspective, it assists you to make informed choices in the day-to-day running of your SMSF. Specifically, you have to know what you're doing and why. Financial literacy will naturally empower you to better understand the fundamentals of investing, better understand financial and investment language, and importantly, empower you to more confidently speak with your advisor and discuss key decisions. Decisions you understand. In other words, the decisions you ultimately make will affect the outcome of your retirement savings and determine the success or failure of your retirement objectives and plan, such as at what age you actually retire. It's certainly one thing to have an aim or objective to retire at a particular age, but the reality is that will be determined by the success or failure of your plan. And importantly, what sort of lifestyle you can afford. And certainly in this day and age, there are also consideration with families as well and children living at home longer typically. I'll ask you a question. Are you enjoying this webinar so far? We've covered point one, knowledge is power. Secondly, we've looked at learn the keys to practically manage your SMSF more confidently. and thirdly, increasing your financial literacy. So who wants to take things to the next level? Put in the question and answer box, I'm ready. You'll see that on the screen. Simply write a question and we'll certainly be responding to questions shortly. Introducing Australian SMSF Group Tailored SMSF Training Program. Designed to provide you with a fundamental knowledge of the establishment, operation and management of your SMSF. Tailored SMSF Trustee Training Program is all about increasing your self-managed super fund knowledge and financial independence, learning the keys to practically manage your SMSF more confidently and increasing your overall financial literacy, all improving your ability to better make informed decisions affecting your retirement savings. The program covers the introduction of self-managed super funds, compliance, such as what the trustee is required to do, the documents, audits, etc. Investing, self-managed super funds, things such as asset classes that you can invest in, what you can own, when you can sell, how you can sell them. All those questions and more in detail about investing and administering the fund, your responsibilities as a trustee. One of the key reasons why Daniela and I established a self-managed super fund is we recognise the ability to invest in a broader range of assets than those typically offered by a retail or industry fund. Things such as physical property and similar. We weren't able to do these through our retail fund previously, and that was one of the key benefits we identified, and that ultimately led us to establishing a fund. The program itself provides a broad overview of the self-managed superannuation fund space, including taxation issues, trust deeds, trustee responsibilities. It also looks at identifying appropriate strategies for particular circumstances. And of course, that's where the knowledge and understanding ties in, where you as trustee can independently, as well as working with your advisor, identify appropriate strategies suitable for your particular circumstances, strategies you may not have been aware of prior. Here's what you're going to receive: a nationally recognised SMSF training program, a recognised program that is specifically recognised by the industry regulator, the Australian Securities Investment Commission, as satisfying the minimum requirements for providing advice in the area of SMSF advising. So you too are partaking in that training that's already recognised. You'll receive it delivered completely online over 6 weeks, where all training material and resources are provided. In other words, you'll need nothing further than beyond what is provided to you completely online. On successful completion, you'll also receive a statement of completion issued by the registered training organisation. Now, if you were to do all the research yourself, it might take you 60 hours or so. Depending on what rate you valued your research, it could cost anywhere from $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. That's not the case today. The investment itself, currently, in certain circumstances, your SMSF fund can pay for this training package where the training is directly linked to the running of the fund. This is the current legislation, but this could change at any time. In other words, what this means is, in certain circumstances,